Forget everything you think you know about world wars. The next one won't be fought in the trenches of Europe or the jungles of Southeast Asia. This isn't about politics. Not in the way you think. This is about power. It's about strategy. And it is about raw, unfiltered survival. The battleground won't just be land or sea. It'll stretch from the depths of the Pacific Ocean to the silent void of space, and deep into the digital world of cyberspace. From our satellites in orbit to our submarines in the abyss, every domain will be contested. If China and the United States ever meet on the field of battle, the world will never be the same again. So what would this conflict actually look like? Let's break it down. For China, the mission is crystal clear: to shatter American dominance in Asia and establish itself as the undisputed regional hegemon. Their central objective, the prize they covet most, is Taiwan. Why? Because Taiwan isn't just an island. It's the gateway to the Pacific. Controlling it would give China's Navy unrestricted access to the open ocean, fundamentally redrawing the strategic map of the world. For the United States, the mission is the polar opposite: stop China's expansion, protect its allies, and preserve the current global order that has been in place for nearly 80 years. And right there, in those opposing goals, lies the fundamental difference that will decide everything. China will fight a regional war. Its entire strategy, its military buildup, it's all laser-focused on its own backyard: the South China Sea, the East China Sea, the Taiwan Strait. They want to fight a war on their home turf, where their supply lines are short and their forces are concentrated. The United States, on the other hand, will be forced to fight a global war. As the current global power, its assets, allies, and interests are spread across the entire planet. To project power into China's neighborhood, America has to move fleets, aircraft, and troops from thousands of miles away. It's a battle of a regional challenger versus a global defender. And that single dynamic will shape every decision, every battle, and ultimately the final outcome. The first, and perhaps most decisive, battles will be fought at sea. This is where the balance of power gets really interesting. On paper, China now has the world's largest navy, measured by the sheer number of ships. It's a staggering achievement, a testament to their industrial might. But numbers aren't everything. America, while having fewer ships, possesses more aircraft carriers, the floating fortresses that project power anywhere on Earth. They have more overall firepower, more advanced technology, and critically, generations more experience operating a global blue-water navy. Their strategies are a mirror image of their strengths. China has perfected what military analysts call an anti-axis area denial strategy, or a 2AD. Think of it as a giant defensive bubble. They've lined their coast with an arsenal of advanced anti-ship ballistic missiles, including the infamous carrier killer systems, all designed to do one thing: keep the U.S. Navy far away from their shores. The U.S. strategy relies on its global carrier strike groups, its unmatched fleet of nuclear-powered submarines that can hunt silently for months, and its proven dominance in open ocean warfare. So, if war begins in the Pacific, the opening hours will be absolutely critical. The central question will be, can the U.S. fleet survive China's missile wall? Can they punch through that defensive bubble to bring their overwhelming firepower to bear? The fate of the war could be decided in those initial, brutal moments. While the navies clash at sea, a furious battle will rage in the skies above. This will be a war fought in stealth. China's premier stealth fighter, the J-20 Mighty Dragon, is a formidable aircraft. They're also investing heavily in swarms of advanced drones, aiming to overwhelm enemy defenses with sheer numbers. They have the home field advantage, operating from air bases close to the fight. On the other side, the United States fields the F-22 Raptor, still widely considered the most dominant air-to-air fighter ever built. And the F-35 Lightning II, a flying supercomputer packed with networking and stealth capabilities. America doesn't just have stealth jets. It has a deep ingrained stealth doctrine, a way of fighting that coordinates these assets in ways no other country can. So it's another classic matchup. China has the numbers and the regional advantage. America has the edge in technology, training, and experience. But here is the terrifying truth. Neither side has ever fought a high-tech air war against a peer superpower. All the simulations, all the war games, they're just theory. No one truly knows how these advanced systems will perform against each other. No one knows which side's technology and tactics will prevail when the fog of war descends. No one truly knows how this ends. But let me tell you something crucial. Before the first ship is sunk, before the first jet is shot down, the war will have already begun in a place most of us never see: space and cyberspace. Satellites will be the first targets. In the modern military, everything navigation, communication, targeting relies on satellites. Knock them out and you blind your enemy. Cyber attacks will be launched simultaneously, aimed at shutting down power grids, crippling financial systems, jamming GPS, and severing communication lines. Imagine a world where the internet goes dark, your phone doesn't work, and the lights go out, all at once. That's the opening salvo of 21st century warfare. Space will become a battlefield, with anti-satellite weapons turning orbits into debris fields. Whoever controls information, whoever can blind their opponent while keeping their own eyes open, wins before the first shot is even fired in the physical world. And in this invisible domain, China is far closer to matching the United States' capabilities than many people want to believe. They have invested astronomical sums into their space and cyber programs, understanding that this is the ultimate strategic high ground. Now, we have to talk about the elephant in the room: nuclear weapons. Both the United States and China are nuclear powers. Both militaries and both leaderships understand the catastrophic price of using them. A full-scale nuclear exchange has only one possible outcome: mutually assured destruction. There are no winners, only survivors left to pick through the radioactive rubble of civilization. That shared understanding is precisely why the real battle will be fought in the shadows. This will be a limited war, designed to exert maximum pressure without crossing that final apocalyptic red line. The escalation ladder would be terrifyingly logical. The first targets will be satellites to blind the enemy. The second will be the fleets at sea to break their military reach. The third will be critical infrastructure and command and control centers on the ground to paralyze their ability to fight. It's a high-stakes game of chicken where each side pushes the other to the brink, hoping the other will back down first. China wins if it can keep the war contained to Asia, achieve its objectives quickly, and present the world with a new reality before the US can fully mobilize its global power. America wins if it can break out of that regional trap, expand the conflict, bring its full economic and military might to bear on a global scale. One fights for expansion, the other fights for preservation. Different goals, different strategies. It's the same immense danger for all of us. So, who wins the next war? The brutal truth is that China is in a position to start it. With their regional focus and clear objectives, they can choose the time and place. But the United States, with its global reach and sustained power, is almost certainly the only one that can finish it. But in a world now armed with hypersonic missiles that defy interception, cyber weapons that can cripple nations in an instant, in the ever-present threat of nuclear fire, the real question is no longer who will win. The real question we must all ask ourselves is, can humanity survive the cost? Because the next world war will not shape the future. It will decide if we even have one. Thank you so much for watching. This is a topic with immense stakes, and it's vital we understand the dynamics at play. If you found this analysis valuable, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more deep dives into the critical issues shaping our world. Stay safe and stay informed.